Lieutenant General Michael Flynn is one of Donald Trump's advisors, and recently he was speaking in Dallas for a group known as Act for America. That's a group that he's actually also an advisor for. And during his speech, he told the audience that Islam is, quote, a cancer and a political ideology that definitely hides behind being a religion, while also pushing a bogus rumor about creeping Sharia in Texas. Flynn also told the crowd that Bernie Sanders is an avowed communist. So you kind of have a sense of who this guy is.
Okay. So let's break this down. First off, that talk of cancer, it's really dangerous. That's the same kind of talk we heard in Europe in the 1930s, that a certain religious group was a cancer and they weren't fully human, and besides which it's not really a religion. And the reason that he says also that it's not a religion, it's a political ideology, is so that he can say, oh, I'm not discriminating against a religion. I just called your entire religion something else. So since I called it something else, I could discriminate against you. I can keep you out of the country, I could profile you, I could register you. And now some are talking of the internment camps in positive terms when we did that in World War II. It's okay. I'm not violating the Constitution, which says don't discriminate based on religion, because I just defined your religion out of existence.
Yep.
So Michael Flynn, man, it's just his entire potential cabinet is a basket of deplorables.
That's exactly right. And people should say that without fear. They should say that unapologetically, because it is what it is and it's the truth, right? You have Steve Bannon, you have Michael Flynn, you have all of these, establishment GOP politicians who have no interest in protecting the working class. So if you're part of the working class and you thought Trump was going to protect you, that's just not going to happen. If you're part of the working class and you brush the racism and misogyny and bigotry under the rug because you thought, hey, you know what, I'm really suffering economically, you're not going to get what you thought you were going to get. And look, it's a failure of the mainstream media for not reporting what the reality is. But more importantly, I think it's the failure of the electorate. And I think it's time that we all take responsibility for the lack of attention that we want to place on actual policies instead of, instead of the crap that the mainstream media covers and the crap that we love, the salacious shit that we covered so much, not us as TYT, but as the media covered during the election.
So, if you think, well, when he came for the Muslims, I wasn't Muslim. He also sent an anti-Semitic tweet earlier in the campaign. But when he got caught with his hand in that cookie jar, he took that one back and apologized. He's like, ooh, yeah, that anti-Semitic tweet I sent with great joy. Oh, right. I'm not allowed to be anti-Semitic yet. So I'll take that one back. What I say against Muslims, I don't take that one back. And really, Sharia law in Texas? Really, you're this insane? So, okay, look, you know what, guys? If Sharia law takes over Texas, then I'll come and join your fight. I'll become a right-winger, and let's go fight them together. And by the way, in some ways I mean that literally, because if Sharia law actually took over Texas, I would hate that. Sharia law is not something I want. I don't want any religion running us. I don't want Muslim Sharia law running us. I also don't want Christian Sharia law running us. I want us to be a secular country like our Constitution demands.
But we already see Christian Sharia law taking hold of Texas, right? In the story that we covered yesterday on the show, you have right-wing politicians proposing legislation that would force women who are pregnant to carry a pregnancy to full term, even if that fetus has severe abnormalities and is not expected to live, right? So the woman has to go through the trauma of having a stillborn. The woman has to go through the trauma of giving birth to a child who has severe developmental issues and is not likely to live, right? A woman is forced to do that because of a specific religion. And so that type of extreme fundamentalist behavior is already happening. But while they're pointing to Muslims and saying, hey, look at the Muslims and look at what they're going to do to our women, behind the scenes, they're already fucking with your women. They're already treating their women like second-class citizens that need to be controlled and need to be punished because of the same sexual activity that they're in favor of engaging in. That's what's happening in Texas.
I just realized as you were talking, Anna, they're actually just jealous of the Muslim guys who do Sharia law. They're like, ooh, if we could subjugate our women that way. I mean, we're trying, but we're not as good as you guys at this. So look, more on Lieutenant General Flynn. He says that he studied the Founding Fathers for years. And that he said this Islamic ideology was something they wanted nothing to do with. And he says they were good Christians. You studied them for years and that's the conclusion you came up with? Thomas Jefferson literally ripped up the Bible. He would rip huge chunks of the Bible out and go, yeah, that doesn't make any sense, that's garbage. And he would literally throw it in the garbage and he'd just keep the good stuff. And there's good stuff in the Bible. So, hey, treat your neighbors as you'd like to be treated, and the Sermon on the Mount, etc. And it was called the Jefferson Bible. So you studied it for years and you missed that, you schmuck? Okay, so our Founding Fathers, when they became presidents, said this is in no way a Christian nation. They said that Muslims were just as welcome as any other religion. That is a direct quote from one of our Founding Fathers in a treaty that we signed. You missed that, Michael Flynn, in your years of study? But probably because he was out there in Texas looking for Sharia law when he should have been studying the Founding Fathers. He said, wow, I can find that Sharia law. Yeah, actually study, but you're not capable of it. You're not bright enough. So, by the way, this guy now being considered for National Security Advisor, one of the most important posts in America. Welcome to the new America.
Yep.
Does it sound like it's been made great again? We need independent media to make sure that we hold corporate media accountable. The people that can make that happen is you. You make the Young Turks possible. tytnetwork.com/join. Join us. Be the revolution.